Your cat is not looking at you right now the way you think he is. He is reading you. And he has been doing it since the first day you brought him home. Every time you walk into a room, sit down, pick up your phone, or stare at a wall for 3 seconds longer than usual, he is gathering data. Processing. Filing. You have spent years watching your cat. Noticing his moods, his habits, his preferences. You thought you were the observer. You were the subject. There are 7 things your cat has already worked out about you. Not things he feels. Things he knows. Specific, detailed, behaviorally precise things about who you are. And the part that stops most people when they first hear this is not that a cat can know these things. It is that you do not know them about yourself. Your cat has figured out things about your psychology, your nervous system, your emotional patterns, that you have never put into words. He just watches and understands. This is not about whether your cat loves you. That question is separate. This is about cognition. About what kind of mind your cat actually has, and what it has done with access to you. Welcome to Cat Mind. If you are new here, subscribe before you leave, because what you are about to learn will permanently change how you sit in the same room as your cat. Today we are going into the science of feline behavioral reading. 7 things your cat has worked out about you, and what each one reveals about the cognitive architecture running silently inside that animal on your couch. Stay until the end. The last one is the one that researchers did not expect. The one that most cat owners, when they hear it, sit very quietly for a moment before they say anything. Each of the 7 is backed by peer-reviewed research in animal cognition, stress physiology, and feline ethology. None of it is folklore. All of it is documented. Here is the first thing your cat already knows about you, and almost certainly knew within the first 2 weeks of living with you. Number 1. Your cat knows your baseline. Not your average mood. Your actual neurological baseline. The specific frequency of your breathing, your movement, your voice, when nothing is wrong. Cats are obligate sensory processors. They do not passively receive the world. They build internal models of it. And the most important variable in your cat's model of his environment is you. Research from a University of Tokyo published in Animal Cognition documented that cats distinguish their owner's voice from strangers' voices with measurable physiological response, even when asleep. The brain does not stop modeling. But voice is just the beginning. Your cat has calibrated to the specific cadence of your footsteps, the particular way you set down a glass, the exact sound of your breathing at rest. When any of those variables shifts, he knows. Not because he is alarmed. Because the model does not match. And a predator's brain that has built a precise model of its environment does not ignore discrepancies. The practical implication of this is extraordinary. Your cat knows when you are stressed before you have said a word, before you have changed your behavior in any way you would consciously notice. Your cortisol levels change your scent. Your adrenaline changes your micro-movements. Your jaw tension changes the way you breathe. And your cat, who has been calibrating to your specific baseline for months, registers all of it. He knows when something is wrong. He has always known. The only question you should be asking is, what does he do with that information? Number 2. Your cat knows your emotional vocabulary. Not the emotions you perform. The ones that leak through before you have decided how you feel. A 2019 study in Animal Cognition found that cats adjust their behavior based on owner facial expressions. They approach more readily when faces show positive affect. They withdraw or remain still when faces show negative affect. But the critical finding was this. The cats were not responding to broad expressions. They were responding to micro-expressions. Movements that last fractions of a second. Changes you make before you have finished feeling the feeling. Your cat does not know your vocabulary. He does not understand the word for grief or the word for anxiety. But he knows the face you make when you are holding something in. He has filed it next to thousands of similar data points. This means your cat has a map of your emotional states that precedes language. He knows what you feel before you have put it into a sentence. Before you have decided whether to name it. For most people, when they really absorb this, the first response is not wonder. It is a kind of recognition. Of all the times the cat appeared. Of all the times you had not told anyone anything yet. And he was already there. Number 3. Your cat knows your routine down to the minute. Not approximately. To the minute. Spatial and temporal mapping research in domestic cats, including work by Dr. Kristen Vitale at Unity Environmental University, confirms that cats build detailed internal schedules of owner behavior, cross-referenced with location, time of day, and preceding actions. Your cat does not wait by the door because he misses you in the abstract. He waits because his internal model predicts your return at that specific time with a precision built from weeks of observation. He knows which sound precedes you leaving for work. He knows the difference between the sound of the bathroom at 7 a.m. and at 11 p.m. He knows that one means food is coming and one means sleep. This temporal map is not separate from his emotional map. They are integrated. He knows that certain times correlate with certain moods. That Saturday mornings are different from Monday mornings. That you are slower after certain kinds of phone calls. He has built, without paper and without language, a behavioral model of you that would take a human therapist months to assemble. And he did it in weeks. By watching. Number 4. Your cat knows which version of you is safe. Not whether you are a safe person. Which version? Today, right now, in this particular state. Cats are social risk assessors. In the wild, predators and prey animals alike build detailed models of the behavioral states of the individuals around them, because behavioral state predicts action. A relaxed lion and a tensed lion are two different threat assessments. Your cat performs this assessment on you constantly. Not because you are a predator. Because he is one. And predators do not turn off their threat modeling software just because they live on a couch. He knows the difference between the you that is calm and the you that is distracted. Between the you that is sad and the you that is depleted. Between the you that wants contact and the you that needs space and does not know it yet. Research on cat owner attachment by Dr. Vitale at Oregon State University found that cats modulate their proximity-seeking behavior based on owner stress state, not just general mood, but specifically whether the owner is present and available versus present and unavailable. Your cat has learned that some versions of you want to be approached. Some versions of you need to be sat near without touching. Some versions of you need to be left alone in a way that still feels witnessed. He has worked out, with remarkable accuracy, which is which. And he has developed a specific behavioral response for each state. You have probably noticed this without naming it. The times he sits closer but does not touch. The times he does not leave but does not push. You are not imagining that he reads you. You are imagining that it is accidental. Number 5. Your cat knows how you handle being alone. Not when you are alone. How you handle it. What it costs you. Whether you are someone who genuinely needs solitude or someone who needs contact but tolerates solitude because you have no choice. This is one of the most counterintuitive findings in feline behavioral research, and it is one that researchers have only recently begun to articulate clearly. A 2020 paper in PLOS I examining cat owner attachment styles found that cats in households with emotionally available owners show significantly lower stress indicators, reduced hiding behavior, increased exploration, reduced vigilance, than cats with owners who are physically present but emotionally unavailable. Here is what that means in plain terms. Cats read emotional availability as a distinct variable from physical presence. They know whether you are actually here. They know whether the person sitting 2 feet away from them is in the room or not. And here is the inversion you should sit with. Cats who live with owners who are emotionally available are less stressed. Which means your emotional state directly regulates his nervous system. He is co-regulating with you. Every day. In both directions. When you feel held by something you cannot name, sometimes a cat at the foot of the bed at 2 a.m. is doing something physiologically real to your nervous system. And you are doing something real to his. You are affecting each other's stress biochemistry in real time. He knows whether you are someone who is held by solitude or eaten by it. He knows whether the quiet in your house is peaceful or waiting. And he positions himself accordingly. 5 things down. 2 to go. And the next one is where this gets personal in a way that most people do not see coming. Because number 6 is not about what your cat perceives. It is about what he has built from that perception, something calibrated entirely around you. Number 6. Your cat knows your attention patterns. Not what you pay attention to. How you pay attention. Whether you are someone who notices small things or only large ones. Whether you are vigilant or relaxed. Whether you scan a room or settle into it. Observational research on domestic cat play behavior has documented that cats adapt the complexity of their interaction bids based on owner responsiveness history. A cat who has learned that you notice subtle signals will use them. A cat who has learned you need something larger will escalate. This is a form of communication calibration that requires your cat to maintain a detailed model not just of what you do, but of what you see, of how much reaches you, of what your attention threshold is. He has learned what gets through. Not to you in general. To you specifically. To the particular version of human attention you have. And he has adjusted everything he does in your direction accordingly. What this means is that your cat's behavior toward you is not generic cat behavior. It is behavior that has been shaped by years of feedback from your specific psychology. What you see when you look at your cat is, in part, a mirror. Every time he chirps at you instead of vocalizing. Every time he sits in your sight line instead of touching you. Every time he brings something to the threshold of your attention without crossing it. He has learned that. From you. From your responses. He has built a behavioral model of your attention and he operates inside it. Not strategically in the way humans are strategic. But precisely. With the precision of something that has been watching the same subject for years. Number 7 is the one I saved for last. It is the one that the research did not predict. And it is the one that, when you understand it, changes the weight of every moment you have spent with your cat. Number 7. Your cat knows how you feel about yourself. Not your opinion of your work or your choices. The underneath thing. The baseline evaluation you carry about whether you are fundamentally okay. This finding emerged from stress physiology and behavioral research, and it arrived sideways. Researchers studying chronic stress in cat owners were not looking for this. They found it while looking for something else. This is behavioral science, not clinical advice, but what it reveals about the cat-owner bond is striking. Studies examining stress markers in cat owners found a consistent pattern. Individuals carrying high levels of chronic background stress, the kind that settles into posture, breathing rhythm, and resting muscle tension, had cats who showed significantly elevated vigilance and proximity-seeking behaviors compared to cats living with lower stress owners. The cats were not responding to anything their owners did. They were responding to something their owners were. A chronic physiological state expressed in the body before behavior. A sustained signal invisible to everyone except the animal calibrated to that specific person's baseline. Your cat does not know the word for self-doubt. He does not understand the concept of an inner critic. But he knows what your nervous system does when it is at war with itself. He knows the specific quality of tension that comes from someone who does not quite believe they deserve the good things. He has been living in the presence of your self-evaluation for years. And unlike everyone else in your life, he has no stake in it. He is not trying to help you feel better. He is not avoiding the subject. He is just there, in the room with the actual version of you, responding to what is real. What the research could not explain, and what the researchers noted in their papers, was the directionality of the cat's response. Because cats with high-stress owners did not show avoidance. They showed proximity seeking. Increased surveillance. More time in the same room. The cats were not withdrawing from the distress. They were moving toward it. Quietly. Without drama. With the specific calibrated closeness of something that has assessed a situation and decided its presence is warranted. They were not fixing anything. They cannot fix anything. But they were not pretending the thing did not exist. They were sitting with it. The way very few humans know how to sit with another person's real weight. I want you to think about the last time your cat appeared when you did not expect it. When you were not performing anything. When you were just in a room being whatever you actually are. And he came and sat down. He did not come because you called. He did not come because food was near. He came because something in his model of you registered a state that, over years of observation, he has learned means you could use a presence. He is not a therapist. He does not understand what is happening in language. But he has built, through pure behavioral observation and physiological reading, a working model of the version of you that is underneath everything else. And he keeps showing up for that version. Not the one you present. The one that is actually there. 7 things your cat knows about you. Your neurological baseline. Your emotional vocabulary before language. Your routine down to the minute. Which version of you is safe. How you handle being alone. How your attention works. And the way you feel about yourself at the level beneath words. None of this requires your cat to be capable of empathy in the human sense. None of it requires him to love you. All of it requires only that he is what he is, a highly evolved sensory processor who has spent years calibrating to the most important variable in his environment. You are the most important variable in your cat's environment. Not abstractly. Literally. The single largest source of input, regulation, and unpredictability in his world is you. Of course he mapped you. He had no choice. But here is what the mapping reveals about something larger. The things your cat knows about you, baseline physiology, pre-linguistic emotion, how you handle solitude, the tone of your self-regard, are not things that are visible. They are not things you perform. They are the things underneath performance. The things you carry before you decide what face to put on. The things that are true before you have shaped them into something sayable. Your cat has access to the pre-edited version of you. The version that exists before social presentation, before self-management, before the narrative you have built about who you are and how you are doing. Every other observer in your life receives a curated version. A version you have processed, adjusted, selected. Your cat receives the raw feed. The biometrics before the story. And he has been sitting with that version, consistently without judgment, for however many years you have had him. He has never asked you to perform anything. He has never pretended not to notice things you hoped he would not. He has just been there. Building his model. Responding to what is actually real. Showing up at the moments when the thing underneath became strong enough to be felt in the room. There is a particular kind of being known that happens only when you have been watched by something that cannot be deceived by words. Something that does not process your explanations or your self-descriptions. Something that only has access to the unnarrated truth. Your cat knows you that way. Has known you that way since very early on. In some ways, the animal on your couch has a more accurate picture of your interior landscape than most humans who love you. That is not a small thing. That is an extraordinary thing. That is the thing this whole field of research keeps circling back to without quite being able to say it plainly. You have not just been living with a cat. You have been living with a witness. A non-judgmental, perpetually observant, neurologically attuned witness who has been quietly tracking your real self for years. And the thing about being truly witnessed, even by something that cannot speak it back to you, is that it matters. The research on stress physiology and pet ownership suggests it matters to your body. The research on attachment suggests it matters to your nervous system. It matters. The next time your cat walks into a room and goes directly to where you are sitting, before you have moved or made a sound, remember what that represents. That is not random. That is not instinct in the simple sense. That is the output of a detailed, continuously updated, years-long behavioral model of you, responding to something it detected in the ambient field of your presence that you have not yet consciously registered yourself. He is not coming to you. He is coming to the thing the model flagged. The thing that is true right now, in this moment, before you have decided what to call it. 7 things your cat knows that you do not know about yourself. And the one underneath all of them is this. He has been paying attention to you, to the real, unedited, underneath version of you, with more consistency and more accuracy than almost anyone else in your life. You thought you were watching the cat. You were the study. You were the subject. You were the one being known, quietly, precisely, without judgment, without agenda, for every hour you have spent in the same room as that animal. If you want to understand your cat better, start by accepting that your cat already understands you. Not theoretically. In practice. In the specific and accurate way that comes from years of patient, unblinking observation. Has your cat ever appeared at a moment when you had not told anyone anything, when you were holding something you had not named yet, and simply sat down next to you? Leave it in the comments. I read all of them. And those are the ones I never forget. And if someone in your life has a cat who does this for them, send them this video. They will know exactly what you mean. I will see you in the next one.